All right, so we're diving into one of the biggest rivalries, I think maybe well, definitely in English football, but I think you could say all of sports, really.
Yeah.
Arsenal versus Manchester United in the FA Cup.
Right.
Um, and you guys requested a deep dive. And to really get this, we got to go back.
Oh, yeah, way
We're
back.
talking about two teams that have just dominated the history of the FA Cup.
Absolutely.
I mean, Arsenal, they've got a record 14 wins.
14.
Manchester United right behind them at 12.
Yeah, they're always there.
So this isn't just like, oh, one game.
No, no, no.
This is, about their whole legacy,
Yeah,
style of play. Some of the most intense matches the FA Cup's ever seen.
absolutely. What always gets me about this rivalry is like how it kind of shows you how English football has changed.
Oh, interesting.
It's not just about individual matches, it's about like who's been on top at different times, how the tactics have changed,
Yeah.
and, just these huge personalities that have played for both clubs.
Right, exactly. Like, think about it. Arsenal, first FA Cup win, 1930,
Wow.
and then the latest one, 2020.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost 100 years. That's wild.
And it's not just that they've won a lot.
Right.
It's the way they've won. Arsenal, it's like this beautiful, almost artistic style of play.
Elegant.
Elegant, yeah. But also, they can just dig in, and they're so resilient.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, take, for example, the 1979 final. You know that one, right?
Oh, come on, the 5-minute final. Who doesn't know that?
Exactly. Why do they call it that?
They scored 3 goals in the last 5 minutes.
Against Manchester United.
I beat them 3-2.
Can you imagine being a fan in that stadium?
Oh my gosh, my heart would explode.
That match, I feel like, it just shows you that never say die spirit that Arsenal has.
Yeah. But then you got Manchester United too, they're like built for pressure. They love it.
They thrive on it, yeah.
They won their first FA Cup back in 1909.
Wow.
And they always find a way to like step up in the big moments.
Yeah. I mean, think about the players they've had win the cup for them. Iggs, Cantona, Ronaldo. Those are some big names. Yeah, those guys, they weren't just good players. They were like game changers. They made everyone around them better. So do you think that, like, the mentality of those players, it kind of rubbed off on Manchester United?
Oh, totally. It's like it's in the DNA of the club.
And I don't think we can talk about this rivalry without mentioning...
Oh, you're talking about the 1999 semifinal, right?
Yes, the replay.
Yeah. Everyone talks about that one.
It's considered one of the greatest FA Cup matches ever played.
Oh, easily. Ask any fan. They'll tell you exactly where they were when they watched it.
Yeah, it's that legendary. So that first game was a draw, right?
Yeah, 0-0. So, like, everything was on the line for that replay.
And I remember it was like you could just feel the tension, even watching on TV.
Yeah.
So remind us, how does this one start? Doesn't Beckham score one of his, like, trademark goals?
He does. Total screamer, long range, classic Beckham. But then Bergkamp, he just, so cool, slots in the equalizer.
Oh, man.
And things are already, like, crazy intense at this point.
Yeah, totally.
But then it gets even wilder. Roy Keane gets a red card.
Oh, no. The captain.
Yep. Manchester United down to 10 men.
Man. So much pressure.
And then it gets worse. Bergkamp has a penalty to win it for Arsenal.
Oh, no.
But Schmeichel, he makes this unbelievable
It
save.
keeps United alive.
Keeps them in it.
But then extra time.
And this is when it really becomes, a legendary stuff.
Yeah.
Giggs gets the ball in his own half. And what he does next is, it's almost like art.
What is it?
He just weaves through the entire Arsenal defense.
No way.
Leaves them, like, standing still, and then, bam, just fires this shot into the back of the net.
Unbelievable. One of the most iconic goals in FA Cup history.
Oh, for sure. And that win, it sent Manchester United on to win the FA Cup. Then they won the Premier League.
Didn't they win the Champions League that year, too?
They did. The treble.
What a season.
Yeah, unforgettable. And, that Giggs goal, it was more than just a goal. It was, like, this symbol of Manchester United's never-give-up attitude.
Yeah. So, we're talking about this match that happened years ago.
Decades, almost.
Yeah, decades ago. But it just shows you, like, how close these two teams are.
Yeah, it's amazing how often it comes down to, like, one moment.
Speaking of which, they're playing again soon.
Oh, yeah, this weekend.
The 2025 FA Cup third round, it's coming up. And, just like we've been saying, this is not just another match.
No, not
another chapter in this epic rivalry.
Need all that history.
The drama.
Amazing players.
So if you're listening, Sunday, January 12, 2025, mark it down. You don't want to miss this. I mean, we talked about those iconic players, those historic matches. But what I find really interesting is how the rivalry itself has kind of changed over time.
Oh, absolutely. It's evolved so much.
Like for a while there, Arsenal was all about possession. That kind of beautiful, hypnotic style of play.
Right, like Wenger's teams.
Yeah, exactly. But then, around the late 90s, early 2000s, things got a bit more, well, let's just say, physical.
A little more rough and tumble.
Yeah. More direct. More aggressive tactics from both sides.
Yeah, it was like a different era of the rivalry.
Definitely. So I think that makes it even more interesting now. Like, how are they going to play each other today?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they're both still top teams.
Absolutely.
But the tactics, the individual battles, even just the personalities of the managers, it all adds to the story.
Really does. And on top of that, you've got this new generation of players writing their own chapter in this rivalry.
Right, carrying all that history on their shoulders, but also, trying to make their own mark.
It's like they're adding to this, masterpiece that's been years in the making.
Oh, I like that. It's a great way to put it. With every match, it gets more interesting, more layered.
Exactly. So as we get ready for this weekend's game, it's like, what's going to happen this time? Will we see that, free-flowing, artistic Arsenal? Or is it going to be, a more tactical battle?
Who knows? That's the beauty of it.
That's what makes it so exciting.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be more than just a game.
Right.
It's going to be about these different styles clashing, the legacy of both clubs. It's a reminder of why the FA Cup is so special.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So don't miss this next chapter, folks. Arsenal versus Manchester United.
This Sunday.
January 12, 2025. It's going to be epic.
I can't wait.
And that wraps up our deep dive into this rivalry.
Great stuff.
Thanks for listening, everyone. And be sure to catch the game to see who makes history.
See you then.
Thanks for listening to the Arsenal versus Manchester United FA Cup Rivalry podcast.